Hello everyone, welcome to HBN Infotech Tutorials. In this tutorial, I will show you how to create a table with rounded corners in Microsoft Word. Before I start, I would like you to subscribe my channel and hit the bell icon for latest tutorial updates. You can download this template on my website. The link is given in the description below. Now let us have a closer look on the tables that I have created. Each and every table here is formatted differently. Now for example, the first table has banded rows with different colors. You can see that the alternate rows are colored differently, and even the header has a different color. And in case of the second table, alternate columns are formatted with different colors, and the header again it has a different color. And in the third table, each and every cell has got a different color. So now there is a challenge in different cases. Now let us see the easier option first, that is the first table. Making the first table is a bit easy compared to the other ones. Now before we begin, we will need to change the units of measure to centimeters. To do that, we can go to the file, click on options, then click on advanced, and then if you scroll down in the display section, you can see the units of measure. You can set this to centimeters and click on the OK button. I have already set it, so you will need to set this. I recommend it. So that's because if you want to give the table a even look, you will need to use one of the units of measurements, and centimeter is much more convenient. Now I'll just take a new page. I'll press the Control End keys, and then I'll press the Control Enter key. So this will insert the page at the end of all other pages. So now let us start with the first table. So this is the easier one. Now let me just check out the measurement. So I have some measurements set here. So the width is 14 centimeter and the height is 7 centimeters. So, and I think there are 7 rows and 4 columns. So each and every row, I think it will the height of each and every row would be 1 centimeter, and the width of the column, let us calculate. So we'll use a calculator here. So the total width of the table is 14 centimeters. So 14 centimeters divided by 4 would be 3.5 centimeters. So the width is 3.5 centimeter, the column width, and the row height is 1 centimeter. So now let's begin. So first we will just go to the insert, click on shapes, and then take the rounded rectangle, and now set the width of this for 14 centimeter and the height of this to 2 centimeters. I'll tell you why in a moment. Now before we proceed, you can just use this yellow handle to just adjust the corner roundness. So you can just set the corner roundness as per your choice. So now let us say I want this much of roundness. So you can just move it back and forth to adjust the roundness. And now if you can observe that we are already created the corner roundness for the top portion. So what about the bottom? So here is the trick. What you can do is you can just go to the insert, or if you are on the format, you can just use the rectangle from here. Just draw a rectangle, and then for the width again I'll just type 14 centimeter, and for the height I would type 1 centimeter. So this is the trick. So what happens is I would simply hide the bottom portion of this first rectangle using this rectangle, this rectangle without the corner roundness. So now we'll just need to duplicate this newly created rectangle the number of times, the number of rows you want. So I think we need how many copies? 1 2 3 4 copies. 4 copies are sufficient. We will just be duplicating the top section. 1 2 3 4, so 4 times. So 1 2 3 and 4. So you can create as much of copies as you want. Now I'll just copy this section, the top section. So you need to copy them both, this rectangle as well as the rounded rectangle, both. So hold down the shift key on your keyboard, click and select that as well, and then you can copy this. So how do you copy this? You can just hold down the control button and click and drag the mouse. So this copies them, and now I'll simply group them together. So I can go to the group and click on group. Now you can just flip this vertically, then you can just place it here. See, now this automatically snaps on the edge. So this snap will work only when you have the snap settings on. So by default it is on. If it is not, you can just go to the align and then grid settings, and here you should make sure that this option is checked, snap objects to other objects. So by default this is on. If you have deselected it, you need to reselect it. Now the next step is to color the rows. So you can just select each and every rectangle, go to the format, shape fill, and fill the color as desired. So in this case I will choose this, and for the second one I'll choose this color. I'll choose this. So I'll repeat the process. So there is a shortcut to do this. So what you can do is you can just click and select this rectangle, go to the home and double click on the format painter, then click on the alternate rectangles, just like this. One second, see, there is a problem. So we need to ungroup them together, ungroup them to separate it. So you can go to group and click on ungroup. Now apply the color. Now I'll apply this one, taking the format painter again, double click on this and this. So now we are done with the rows. So how to create the columns now? See, to create the columns I'll be using the lines, the simple line. I'll take the line, just draw a line, but while drawing a line you should hold down the shift key to create straight lines. So now the height is 7 centimeter. The total height of the table is 7 centimeter. I think I have created one extra row, so in that case I'll make this 8. Now you will need to decide how many columns you want. So in case if you want 4 columns, 1 2 3 4, then you will need 5 lines, 1 2 3 4 and 5. So we will need to create 5 duplicate copies of this line. So I'll press Ctrl D, 1 2 3 4 and 5. So 5 copies. Now what we can do is we can go to the home and click on select objects, select them all together, then go to the format, align top. So this would align them in one straight line. Now you can just group them together. Now press the escape key to get rid of this arrow. Now bring this on the table. So if anything goes wrong, you can just undo that. So I'll just bring this here. You can roughly place at any place, no problem. Now I can just pull this like this on the either side of the table. Now you could see that the columns are automatically calculated. Now the next thing is we would need to delete these lines at the end. So I'll just click and select the grid line just I have placed. I'll go to the format, ungroup it first. Sorry, one second. I think I didn't select it properly. Okay, now we'll try. Ungroup, click away. So you need to click away to deselect it. Then click on the line. Then press the delete key. So this way you can get rid of the lines at the ends. So now we are ready with the table. Now we can just play around and see how this how to change the other attributes. Now say if you want to increase the line thickness, so I'll just use this arrow to select the entire table, then go to the format and then shape outline, weights, and choose a different line thickness, just like this. So this works like a charm. Now how to create text on this table. Before I show you how to create text on this table, I would like to show you the second technique that I have used to create the second and the third table. So later I'll show you how to create text on this table. So in case of the second and third table, the technique is entirely different. So do not skip any part of this video. So let us start. So I'll just go to the insert, shapes, click on rounded rectangle, create a bigger rounded rectangle. So this time I would create the complete table. I would create the rectangle for the complete table's height and width. So for the width I would enter 14 and height I would enter 7 centimeters. So now I should decide the corner roundness. So how much corner roundness I want, so that much I can keep. And now here is the trick. You can take the rounded rectangle again, just create a small rounded rectangle, and then for the height I would enter 1 centimeter, and for the width I would enter 3.5 centimeters. Now you will need to match this corner roundness with the other rectangle. So now before doing that, I would just simply remove the shape fill, going to the format, shape fill, and clicking on no fill. So this would allow me to see the object behind. So now I would simply use this yellow handle and drag this back and forth to adjust and match with the corner roundness of the shape behind. So now I think you would need to zoom this. Okay, so I think I have to change the corner roundness of the shape behind, because I have just used the complete this thing. Okay, now yes, so you need to play around a little bit, so you would be successful. So now we have set the corner roundness. Now the next trick is take the rectangle and then create a rectangle at the bottom for the same width, but this time you would need to exactly place it on the edge of this smaller rounded rectangle. And you should create one more rectangle here at the right. See, I'm not much concerned about the width of this, but the height should be same, the height should match. And with this rectangle again, I'm not concerned about the height but the width should match. So now we have three rectangles here, one rounded rectangle and two small normal rectangles. So now we would need to group them together. Now we need to carefully select these three rectangles. To do that, I'll go to the Home tab, click on Select and click on Select Objects. Draw a selection box around these objects, the shapes. Then go to the Format, click on Group and again click on Group. So this will group them into one shape. Sorry, I'll just move this and show you. This is grouped now. Now you can just fill this with the desired color. Now say 1 second. So I'll just click and select it again. Sometimes this might happen, like say if you select the grouped shape and then try to move it, what happens is it would select a particular shape, item inside the group. So if you try to apply the color, it would apply only to that one. So what you can do is you can just click away, select it back and then apply the color. So this would apply the color to the entire shape group. So now you can remove the outline. You can just remove the outline, place it here. Now we can just copy this. I'll press the Ctrl D keys. Let me zoom this back. So I can just move this. Once after moving it, click away and click and select the shape back. Then go to Format, Rotate, Flip Horizontal. Then place it here. Then again we will need to make copies for the bottom, table's bottom. I'll just duplicate, click away, click on the shape back and then rotate, flip vertical. Yes. Now do it for the other side. I'll press the Ctrl D keys to duplicate and then move it, deselect the shape, select the shape back, go to rotate, flip vertical and place it here. And now we can proceed to create other rectangles. So you can just take the normal rectangle, this one. Now for the height and width of this rectangle, I'll set the height as 1 centimeter and width as 3.5 centimeter as discussed already. Now I'll just place this exactly on the edge of the other rectangle. So you can just copy this. I'll just hold down the Control button and click and drag. This creates the copy. So since this object snap is on, so you don't have to worry much about the alignment, it takes care. So now I'll just copy this way. Now to copy all these shapes together, you can just hold down the Shift key and click and select all the other rectangles. Then hold down the Control button and click and drag. and this copies all the shapes together. Similarly, we will do the same thing for this section, I mean the third column. Let's copy this. So I guess it's copied. Now there is one last thing you will need to do, and that is you would need to send this, send this shape behind all other shapes. So how do we do that? So I'll select this, go to the format, click on send backward. I mean, you need to click on this small arrow, then click on send to back. So this would send everything back, and I think it's gone. I mean it's not visible right now. That's okay, we'll just correct it in a moment. So how do you correct that? You can just click and select this bigger rectangle, that is this one. So click and select that one and go to the format, shape fill, and click on no fill. So why I'm sending this back is because if you carefully observe, we are not able to see the outline at this place particularly. So I'll just send this back. All the 4 rounded corners needs to be sent back like that. Send back. Okay, now you can start filling the colors as you wish. So suppose if you want to fill it in this way, you can do it. So since all the shapes are independent, you can select the shapes one by one. So the second and the third table is done in this way. So both have the same technique. So you can just go to the format, shape fill, and choose the color you want, just like that. So if you want alternate colors, you can choose them accordingly. So now for this I'll choose a different color, just like that. So I'll just use the format painter, double click, and then click and select all the other shapes. So now here in this case the format painter has copied the outline properties as well. That's not an issue. You can just go to the format, shape outline, and click on no outline. So you can just continue on the other column. So select this one, format painter, click and select all the shapes. Now press the escape key, select the second color, I mean second rectangle with a different color, take the format painter once again and continue filling the other rectangles, just like this. So you can just say no outline. Now we have a table with different fill properties. Now in this case we have the alternate columns set to different colors. So in case if you want different colors for different cells, that is also possible since they are all independent. So I mean independent rectangles. So you can choose a different color as per your choice, just like this. You can choose any color. Any color you want. Now if you need to change the outline properties, there is one thing you need to do. You will need to bring this out. So you will need to bring all the rectangles, I mean rounded rectangles at the corners out of this table, and then select all the other shapes together using the select objects, just like this. Then change the outline property, change the thickness as per your requirement. Then place these rounded cornered rectangles back, just like this. So now I hope you have understood how to create the tables with rounded corners and different fill properties and line attributes. Now let us see how to create text and place it on the table. There are two ways to add text on these tables. So let us see how to add text using the first method. First, you will need to create a text box. To do that, go to the Insert tab, click on Text Box, and then click on Simple Text Box. Now drag this text box to the desired place. Now let us not keep it on the table, I'll keep this somewhere else. Now I'll just delete the dummy text inside the table, inside the text box. Now I'll alter the size of the text box. I'll make the full height and width of the table. So the full height was 7 centimeters and the width is 14 centimeters. Now you will need to insert a table inside this text box. So how do we do that? We'll just go to the insert, first click inside the text box, then go to the insert table, and this time we need a 4 column by 7 rows table. So I'll just go to the insert table, 4 columns, I'd set 4 in the columns, and for the rows I'll type 7 and click on OK. So this would insert a table inside the text box. Now we will need to set the height and width to exactly match the complete height of the text box. So to do that, you can just go to the layout. First you will need to select the entire table like this, then go to the layout, and for the height let us make this 1 centimeter. Let us see how it looks. I think you need to reduce this a little bit, and I think 0.97 would do. 0.96. So there is one more thing you need to do, that is you would need to adjust the margins inside the cell, and you can just click on the cell margins. For the top, I think you can keep 0.05, and for the bottom you can keep 0, and left and right you can keep as desired. Just click on OK. Now I think I'll need to reduce the height a little bit, 0.9. .85. We'll just make this 0.85. 0.85 is too small. 0.89. Yes, this is perfect. Now I'll just set the width of this. I'll make a little bit more. Oh, that's too much. 3.4. A little less, 3.3. So you will need to experiment this. 0.45. I think 3.45 is ideal. Now we can center this inside the text box. To do that, go to the Home tab and click on the center. So this would center the table exactly inside the text box. Now bring this table along with the text box and overlap it on the table. So now what you would do is you will need to remove the fill color. So going to the format, shape fill, and say no fill. So this you would need to do, and then again you would need to remove the outline of the text box. So remove the outline, say no outline. So now we are still seeing the tables border. So to remove the tables border, so if you move this away and check, you can see that the table border is visible. So we will need to hide that. So to do that, you can select the table like this, go to the design tab and then borders, click on no border. This would remove the border. And also you can go to the layout, make sure that you deselect view grid lines. So this would have no effect on the printout, but visually it would confuse, it might confuse you. So you can just turn it off. Now you can just grab this and place it on the rounded rectangles. Now you can just type the desired text, like say for example like that. Now I would want some serial numbers here, so I'll select them all the cells and click on this numbering. So this is a bonus tip, so you don't need to manually type the numbers. So now, so you will need to make a little trial and error with the text placement here. So let us go to the layout and then check the other alignments. So I'll check with this one. How about this? Okay, I think we need to increase the cell margin. So let me make this 0.5 and see what happens. 0.5 is too much. 0.08. So I think this is okay. So I'll select them all and make it bold. So the table is created along with the text. So I hope that you have understood the techniques. So this was the first method. Now let me show you the second method. So let me make a copy, or I'll do one thing, I'll delete the text. I'll delete this text box. So now we have the table here. As you can see, this is a grouped shapes, so we can just ungroup them. Sorry, not this one, I'll group it again. See, each and every item here is separate. So this is a separate shape, and even this is a separate shape. So to add the text on this shape, you can simply make a right click and click on the add text and type your desired text, just like that. Now you can add text for all the shapes just using the same method, but for the corner, the rounded corner part, you cannot do the same thing. So for this you will need a slight different technique. So you can use the text box, take the text box, delete the dummy content, place this on the rounded corner shape that's here, and then you can remove the fill and outline. No outline. Now you can type the text, just like this. So manually you will need to place this where you want. Just use the arrow keys. So this needs to be done on all the four corners. for this place and for the bottom. All the other shapes, I mean for rest other shapes, you can just right click and click on the add text, just like this. Add text. So you can also choose an alignment. You can make this center if you wish. And for the last one, you can use a text box and type the content you want. I'll also change the alignment. And then manually you can just shift this to exact place. So this was the second method. So I hope you understood both of the methods. So if you like this video, just give me a thumbs up, share this video with your friends, and if you're new to this channel, just subscribe my channel, and I'll see you all in my next video with another awesome topic. Until then, it's bye from hbninfotech.com.